Hello, and welcome to this first video of exploring things in space. This is just going to be a simple video of me using Space Engine, which is a program used to simulate the universe. And I'm going to be just going through a bunch of cool things that I find really cool about the universe, things that we find because there's unlimited things. Anyways, let's get right into it. I'm sure you've all seen this planet before. Very familiar, it's Earth, beautiful planet, but I'm going to start with something a little bit different. Okay, so this was a planet I saw a few days ago, and it was actually pretty amazing to me because there's a lot of storms, there's a lot of Earth-like features about it, and you don't see that quite often. Most planets you'll find don't really have any signs of things like this. Like, you'll have storms, but you won't really see, you usually find like gas, like the planets will be full of gas, or the Earth will be just completely uninhabitable, it'll be too cold, it'll be way too hot, and it's rare to find something like this. This is obviously very cold. You can see on the left, it has like all the information you need to know about it. But it's very cold, so it wouldn't really be habitable, but it really makes me think like, wow, that's cool, because for there to be storms and stuff on that kind of a planet, it really makes you wonder. Now, this is actually a moon. Its planet is behind it, but it looks similar to Saturn. I'll get there very soon. I'll show it in a little bit. I just want to get the eclipse here of this planet because I was looking at it when I first originally found this, and it is quite cool. So any planet will like give an eclipse off if you shine it in the direct light of a star, and like as if the moon would do it or something. And this is exactly what happens. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I think it's one of the coolest things ever. It's just incredible. Every planet will do it. Every planet will have a different one. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to show for this planet. Again, very cool that there's so many storms. It's hard to find things like this. I'm sure that there's a lot more, and I'm sure I'll end up finding more eventually in the future. But yeah, this is just one of the cooler finds. Figured I'd start with this one. Now I think it's about time to check out the other one. Alright, so go to Object, and now we see its planet. This one's got 32 moons. It's got a more normal temperature. It's closer to the sun, obviously. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It looks like a little bit like Saturn. It's classified as a warm mega-Neptune. Not quite sure why. Maybe it's because of the gases. Again, I'm not like a scientific expert or anything, but just know some facts. Quite a lot of moons there, so I don't think we're going to be going through all of them, or any of them actually, because it would probably take forever. I don't want this video to be too long, but yeah, this is a pretty cool planet. Now there's a magnetic pole as well, which is another thing that's pretty cool. Not all planets exactly have this showing. I mean, most of them do, but again, it's hard to see. Just it's like the northern lights, what we would have for us on Earth, just on this warm mega-Neptune planet, which I believe is made out of hydrogen gas and helium. You can see there on the left side the atmosphere composition. So yeah, that is a very gassy planet. So I don't think that would be a very suitable place for anything to live right now, but you never know. Life could be made in any form. So that's one of the amazing things about space. We just never know what we're going to find. Anyways, time to move on to a different planet of the star. Same star. This is a planet that's much closer to the sun. It is 700 degrees, almost 700 degrees, as you can see there. When a planet gets this hot, you can literally see it heating up. That is just so cool. That is one of the coolest things that you can see. I mean, it's such a hot planet, it's so close to the sun that it's actually radiating the heat. It's just so cool. In fact, I'm gonna go to another planet now in the same star system, and a hotter one. And here we go. Like, damn. Now that is hellfire. If you thought the other one was hot, this is twice as hot. This one's almost 1400 degrees Celsius. That's just crazy. It's so hot that the entire planet is just fire. There's hellstorms going on there, tornadoes of fire. That would not be a very pleasant place to be. That would be very unpleasant, though it looks amazing. I mean, come on. Out there right now, there's a planet that's just complete hellfire, a complete chaos. If there's a hell, that's it. I mean, that's all you can really say about that. I mean, what else can you say? It's just incredible. You see the atmosphere over there, barely hanging on, barely hanging on. I don't know how this kind of a planet could even have an atmosphere, but that's just another one of the amazing things about space. It's just, you never know. Look at that. That's just incredible. Complete hellfire. That's just quite something that, you know, we're so lucky to have technology like this to even be able to see something like this, because you would never know. It's just such an amazing thing. We really are privileged to be on planet Earth right now, because we could be there, and that would be Not good, not fun. Anyway, now to warp drive onto the next planet, probably the last one I'm going to show until I move on to galaxies. This is a nice mini Neptune, and it is more of a normal temperature compared to Earth, but again, all gas, and cool atmosphere. That's why I decided to choose this one. So it's pretty cool. Anyways, let's move on to galaxies now. So basically, the scale of a galaxy is kind of impossible to imagine. Like, it's really hard. The numbers are so huge, it's almost impossible to actually imagine it. So this is a random galaxy, right? Any one of these like things that you see in the sky are galaxies. So you go into the info, 96 billion stars. That's a lot of stars. And when you think about one star having the possibility of multiple planets, it's really overwhelming to think about the possibilities of what could actually be out there. And these are like just for all kinds of galaxies. I mean, that was just one, but who's to say that, you know, another galaxy wouldn't have the same thing, or more, or less, or whatever. It's just unlimited things to find out. Yeah, that's just one of the many amazing things about space. Now, if you keep zooming out eventually you reach the end, and you realize that that little dot that you were seeing all those stars fly in is actually one of thousands and thousands and thousands and countless numbers of other stars that hold other galaxies. It's just completely mind-blowing. I mean, here we are on this little planet, and yet we don't even think about what could be outside most of the time. A lot of people are too focused on, you know, the life they're living, and that's important and all, but a lot of people don't just stop and realize that, wow, there's a lot going out there, and who knows what could be who knows what there could be for us in the future. It really is just like an amazing thing to try and think about. Now I'm going to keep zooming out here so we can see exactly where Earth is on inside of our galaxy, and I think it's pretty cool and something that surprises a lot of people. I think a lot of people seem to think that Earth is like somewhere like in the middle of the galaxy, but it couldn't be more far from the truth. It seems that a lot of the planets that scientists and people like that are finding, the best ones seem to be usually on the outer rim of the galaxies. And again, this is the same case. We're on the outer rim of a spiral galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, of course. See, we're right there, right on the edge, and I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, now time to move on to another galaxy. We're going to go with the Andromeda galaxy, which is actually the closest one to us, and in the future, I mean hundreds of thousands of years from now, we'll actually collide with our galaxy to form a super galaxy. So that is something that, you know, unfortunately I don't think we'll be around to see. But yeah, look, another galaxy as an example. 36 billion stars. I mean, it's just, you could pick any one of these galaxies and they're going to have billions upon billions of stars. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. Here's another structure close to the Milky Way galaxy, the Large Magellanic Cloud, and I'm sure I absolutely butchered that name, but I tried. There's a small version too, but yeah, this one holds quite a few stars, and the cloud is made primarily of gas. I'm not quite sure exactly what else, because it's 163,000 light years away from Earth, but yeah, there's actually a cluster in this galaxy. You can see it in the bottom left there. I'll go zoom into it. Now, a cluster are basically a bunch of stars that have been forced together because of gravity, and usually gravity is caused by none other than a black hole, a star that has collapsed. And it is quite an amazing thing if you think about it. All of these stars are close together. The gravity is so strong by the black hole that it's being stuck into place, and everything is being collected there, which is really, really cool. I mean, you wouldn't want to be near there. I mean, the black hole would tear you to shreds. It would, you know, tear apart every single molecule that you know, but it's just another one of these amazing things about space that, you know, it keeps life going. If we didn't have these black holes, we wouldn't have what we know today. It's just really makes you think. Now here is the Milky Way galaxy, and this is what I'm going to close off the video with. I think it is cool that we see our own galaxy and the black hole of our own galaxy, because although many people don't think about it, we have a black hole. Every galaxy has a black hole. If we didn't have black holes, I mean, there wouldn't be any gravity, and we wouldn't have any stars or planets orbiting the stars. So we really have everything to thank to this black hole, which destroys everything that we know. I mean, it's a little bit ironic, but that's just the way it is. Alright, so now as you can see, we are getting closer to the cluster. The cluster that the black hole is attracting all the stars to. And now, as we get closer, you should see the stars. There we go, a whole bunch of different stars. We even have some brown dwarfs in there. Those are the orange stars. Those are typically the oldest living stars, although it always depends, of course. Now, in the middle of this cluster, I'm sure, as you know by now, there is going to be a black hole. And a black hole is almost invisible. That's why it is called a black hole. And basically, it absorbs everything. So that is the entrance to the black hole. You can see it's extremely bright because it is absorbing all of the light around it. And yeah, it's not a pleasant thing. I mean, it's cool. It's amazing. And we have everything to thank for it. But at the same time, you know, it doesn't look very friendly. I mean, if it's consuming planets and everything, you know, left and right, this guy's got to be a big guy, you know, so you should be careful. Be careful going around this guy. That's all I have to say about that. Now, I'm going to try and get a better view of this black hole for you. And all you have to do is just enter the center. It looks like a portal. This is like one of the coolest things ever. Once you get to a certain point, the light becomes very concentrated. Who knows about all the galaxies consumed, all of the different things that, you know, all the stars it's consumed and stuff like that. It's just so incredible. And that is basically our black hole. It is absorbing everything. It is giving us gravity, giving us orbits, giving life as we know it. We're just lucky to be in the right part of the galaxy, in the right place at the right time. What we have here on Earth is truly amazing. It is taken for granted way too often, way too much. Life is precious. And the universe proves it. There's just not many chances of life. So I hope you learned something from this video. I hope that it was an okay video. And yeah, that's going to be about it for this one. So thank you again for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. And I'll be seeing you all again in the next one, I hope. So take care and have a good night.